Okay, guys, hi, welcome to tonight's training. This is going to be on vision. We had a little bit technical difficulties with what was going on over on Google Hangouts, so we'll get started here tonight. This is going to be about creating a vision, and now the reason that I really wanted to start with vision tonight is because back when I started in 2013, the first course I ever took, they focused on vision training for the first 2 modules. It was like 4 hours of vision training. And he was just like, this is the most important part of what you're going to create in this industry. You need to have a clear vision. So in order to get what you want and in order to get where you want to go, you need to be able to see it clearly. You need to be able to picture it in your mind. You need to be able to feel it. And that's what we're going to talk about here tonight. So don't latch on to somebody else's vision. Make sure that you have your own clear vision, and that's what I'm going to show you tonight, how to start creating that. You'll be able to write out a perfect vision, and just know that once you put it on paper, that you can feel that confidence in knowing what you have, and that it's going to be just perfect for you, that this is all going to work out perfectly. So we're going to get into the training here. I'm just going to put that to the side. We'll go here. So when I say don't latch on to someone else's vision, it basically means that when you come into this industry, when you come into a team, a lot of times you come in because somebody else's vision has pulled you in, right? Their vision of what they're going to create in this industry, where they're going as our team. I mean, our team has a huge vision. We're going to have 1,000 people making 6-figure incomes by the end of next year, and we're going to be impacting 1 million families. That's a big vision. That is something that will pull people. But as you come in, don't just latch onto that. Start to create one for yourself, because 1,000 families making 6-figure incomes is an amazing vision for Doug and Jody with their team, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you're going to jump out of bed every morning excited about. You need to have your own vision, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And create a vision for your life and for your team. So as you go along and have this massive team, right now we're sitting at just under 400 people on our team. So all of us having a common goal is pretty normal at this level. But when you have tens of thousands of people on your team, you're going to want to have a vision that you cast for your team as they start to come in and they see you as the leader. You're going to be giving them that vision. Where are you guys going? If you're building a team of a lot of moms that are going to stay home, that's your vision. You cast a vision for them, or if you all have a common goal that you want to do, or you share your whys, you're basically a team that's going after one common thing, and that could be just to create your destinies and just to be able to do the grand things that you have put down in your own vision. So just kind of always be thinking that way, knowing that as you go along, it's going to grow with you. And when you're talking to people, you want to be, no, that's in this part, sorry. You want to be sharing your story. We'll get to that one. But what gives you goosebumps? So as you're thinking about your vision tonight, you're going to be thinking about things that are going to be coming into your life that give you, what are the things that make you the most excited? What are the things that give you those chills? When you think, like for myself, when I think about my best life imaginable, and I just did this the other day and I wrote it in the group, when I sit and I think about exactly what I want, and not just business-wise, like life-wise, where I want to be, the people that I want around me, what that actually feels like, you get chills, right? And it's those moments when you're feeling those chills, those are the things that you want to be writing down. We tend to keep our vision small because we don't want to set something so huge and not achieve it. But the thing is with the vision, that when you put it in writing and when you decide that you know that this is going to happen, it will happen. So go as big as you want and make sure the things that you're writing down for the vision for your life are those goosebump things, that they're those things that make you just feel incredible. And you also want to know that, just like the other day I heard a story, well, not a story, but it was an example of how when a farmer plants a seed, he just knows it's going to grow. Or same with us. When we plant a seed, we don't sit there thinking, well, what if it doesn't grow? What if I did something wrong when I was planting it? What if there's something wrong with this soil? You never think that. You plant a seed, you know it's going to grow. That is our faith in it. So know that tonight, Jace, know tonight as you plant that seed of your vision that that's all it takes to make it grow. That's it. You don't have to do anything else but do the action that it's going to take to get there. But know that because that's what you've created for your life, that's what's going to happen. And I know, like back when I started in this vision training, especially that first module, I was like, this is so weird that this is what I'm being trained on for my business training. Like I signed up for this to become a top earner, and I'm talking about, what I want my cupboard knobs to look like because that's how detailed we were getting in our vision, right? And but it works, and it's exactly what you need. It's something, knowing where you're going, and even with this team, with anything, when you wake up in the morning, are you excited right now? Are you waking up excited, or do you still hold that little bit of dread, fear, doubt, something that's keeping you feeling yucky inside? And most of the time we always go to that place because that's comfortable. That's what we know. We know to be fearful. We know to be doubtful. We know to be, worried about money, or worried about, just worry. We know to live in worry. But this vision needs to take you out of that. So you need to, every time you start to feel that doubt, worry, confusion in the mornings when you're waking up, stop and think about where you're going and let that excite you. Know that you are one day closer to that vision every single morning that you wake up, and change it to be feeling that way. And make sure to share your story. So after you've crafted this vision, make sure that you are sharing it with people. Tell people about it. Even if they think you're cuckoo, tell them. Because the more people you tell about this, the more you're planting that seed, the more you're watering it, because you're speaking it out there. So when people may bug you because you're in this industry, or they may say, wow, your dreams are too big, just say, yeah, isn't it incredible that I can dream that big and know that it's going to happen? Just have confidence in it. Know that you are going somewhere amazing, and just decide that there's no other options. There's nothing else that's going to happen for you, because you've decided you're literally, after tonight, you can literally sit down with a piece of paper and write out the storyboard for your life. If you truly believe that, and you know that, then you can write out the rest of your life. It's crazy, but it's the way it works. And if you keep that focus in your mind, and you know 100% that that's what's going to happen, and that's where you're going, and no matter what, no matter how many mistakes come along the way, no matter how many failures or roadblocks, if you know that that's where you're headed, and you know that you can write out your life, that makes me excited right now, even just saying it. Like, to know that we can put a pen to paper and decide what the rest of our life looks like just because we've written it out is pretty incredible. So make sure you share that with people, and share it with people even when you're prospecting. I had a guy today, I won't even repeat what he said, but he was just vulgar. He was just not a guy I would ever recruit, and I told him that. But he tried, when I told him I didn't want to work with him, and I probably should have ended the conversation there, but I was trying to stay civil. He started to try to plant that doubt, right? Started just cutting things down in the industry with Asante. And I was just like, you know what? There was nothing that he could say that pulled me away from my vision. And I just said to him, wow, you are so wrong. Like, you are just so wrong. I'm sorry you feel that way, but you are so wrong. And that's where we ended the conversation, because it was like, I am not even allowing your words to penetrate my mind. I'm not letting your words penetrate my vision. I'm not letting your words penetrate our team that we have. There's nothing that anybody can say to take you away from that. So just know and believe that you can create whatever you want starting tonight. And then again, decide today that there's no other option than success. Just decide you are here today and you're at success after. Like, the road that you're on right now is leading to success. No matter where that road goes, no matter how many weaves and bends, you are headed towards success. There's no other option. No po, right? Just like in PCI, no po, you're headed to success. So we're going to talk about goals versus vision. Now, goals are great to have. We all need to have goals of gold, platinum, income goals, team size goals. Sorry. And all of those things need to be present in your life. You always want to be having something that you're working towards, just like Amy said with the challenge. Like, it's always good to be challenged and have something that you're going towards. So the difference between goals and vision is, goals is something you want to achieve, but your vision is, what does accomplishing those things actually do for you? So if you want to be a platinum, say, by a certain date, and you're earning 100% check matches off of your entire team, plus your regular residual, what does that actually feel like? What does it feel like when you go into your back office and you see platinum, and you know that you've hit the top of the company? Like, what does that feel like, right? What does that mean for your finances? What worries are immediately gone when you know that? And those are the types of things that you want to be feeling. Or when you're earning $10,000 a month, guys, shh. Sorry. When you're earning $10,000 a month, What does that actually feel like? And for so long, I have had a goal of 10,000 a month. I mean, I had a goal of 10,000 a month in pretty much every company that I was at. That number for me was just like, it was just like, that's what I want to achieve. But I've realized why I didn't hit it. And that's because I didn't have any emotional attachment to it. It was just a goal. It was not a vision. So a couple of months ago, I sat down and I wrote out what $10,000 looks like. And I suggest that you do this too. If you have an income goal, write it out what that actually looks like. So I put $10,000 at the top, and then I subtracted every single bit of money I could think of going out, like every utility bill, every payment, everything was written down there, down to groceries, clothes, whatever I could think of, gas, everything went down. So those were all of my possible expenses with a large grocery bill, right? Just in case, you never know. So I had everything written down there. And when I subtracted all of that from the $10,000, it blew me away to see how much was left over. A lot. There was a lot left over. Somebody has a question. I just want to check on it because I don't want. Okay, see ya, Amy. We'll talk to you later. So it was a lot left over, and I was like, oh my gosh, like $10,000 a month is amazing. Because I thought I would actually have that left over to give away, to put in a savings account, to make plans with, to go traveling with. All of a sudden in like 2 months, you could have enough money to be able to go on just an amazing trip. There's $10,000 a month is a lot. So I suggest really writing that down for yourself and putting it somewhere that you can see it so that you know what $10,000 a month in your life actually looks like, or whatever your income goal is. So you want to know what that, and make sure that even if it's to create 6 figures, write that down. Write down what your annual income would be, and then write down your annual expenses and realize how much money is going to be left over after a 6-figure income. Okay, so it's those types of things. So with your goals, every goal that you ever make from here on out, make sure you're attaching your vision to it, because that's what you need to do. And now I'm off here. So who will you be when you create all these things for yourself? Who are you going to be as you start to achieve this vision? What does that mean? I didn't quite understand this when I was first asked this. Who will you be? And I thought, I'll be Angel. Like, I will be myself. You will be a different person. You're going to be a different person 6 months from now. You're going to be a different person 12 months from now. And you're going to be a different person 2 years from now. And you're going to be a really different person 3 years from now. 5 years from now, you're going to be a millionaire. And possibly sooner. So who are you going to be? You're going to change. People like to say, oh, money won't change me. Success won't change me. It will, because you just become a different person because of the things that you're aware of. When you're no longer having to worry about money and worry about bills, and all of a sudden you've moved into this land of abundance where you can have whatever you want. But it's funny, when you can have whatever you want, all of a sudden you don't want everything. You start to really value the core things. So that's the type of person that you become. You start to really value relationships. You value time. You value the things you can do with your money to impact others. You become a person who doesn't really talk much about complaining. Like, you don't complain. Certainly not in public. You're not negative. You're an encourager. You have more time when you reach your vision, and when you start to reach those goals. You have more time to be able to see things in people, and you start to bring out success in other people. So you change. So write down, as you're writing out this vision, for each part of your vision, each stage of your vision, whether it's 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, who do you start to become? If you're a grandma, what do you do with your grandkids once you're at that level? What does your time involve? How do you spend your time? If you're not working, if the amount of time we're going to have to put into our team by the 5-year mark is going to be very minimal, it will be more encouraging and training and that type of thing, right? Still actively recruiting and having amazing competitions and challenges and stuff, but you're going to have so much more time. So what are you going to do with it? Traveling is great. What are you going to spend most of the time? We want to have something creative to put it into. Are you going to have a hobby? Are you going to run a class? Are you going to help others in some way? Are you going to volunteer? Are you going to, how are you going to spend your time? Are you going to spend your time traveling and speaking on stages? What are you going to do? So really think about who you're going to be as this all comes to fruition here for you. What will you do? Well, we kind of already covered that. Sorry, I went longer in the who will you be. So how will you spend your time? That's the what will you do. What are you going to do with your time? And, thinking about, I know back a couple of years ago, I was in a different course, and they said, so many people have a goal of quitting their job. And back then I was working, and I was like, that's me. And this guy, Adam, was like, but so many people, if you say, okay, so when you quit your job, what are you going to do with your time? And most people are like, I don't know. And that's the vision. So the goal is to quit your job. The vision is, what does that feel like? What do you do? What do you do when you don't work? What are you going to do with your time? Are you going to build your business more? Are you going to put more time into your business? Are you going to spend some time more at the lake? Are you going to go away with the kids more? What are you going to do? So know what your goals feel like. That's what this is all about. And what will that feel like? There you go. How will all the people in your life view you? This was an uncomfortable part of the training for me. It was uncomfortable for a lot of people as we went through it, because we had open discussions. And, coming with success, a lot of us fear success for two different reasons. We fear success because we either think that we can't achieve it, or we can't hold on to it, or we're not worthy of it. Or we fear success because we don't want to repel others because of our success, because there's always people that are not going to want to see you succeed, and that's just the way it is. So how will all the people in your life view you? Well, start with the immediate good stuff. Your spouse, your kids, how are they going to view you? I know my kids, like, they have gone through years of me working very hard, and only recently in a company that's actually going to take me the places that I want to go. Before that, it was working hard for always having to build, build, build. And I know a year from now, my kids are just going to be so grateful for these last 12 months. And they're just going to be, and for the last 3 years even, I mean, they've gone, they've spent, I've been home with them, which was the goal, but they want time, right? And you can't always give that when you're building an empire. And so it's something that I'm excited to see how they're going to view you. Now, what about other coworkers or ex-coworkers that you had, or friends? Think about the specific people in your life that are going to maybe not so much be happy for you, and be okay with that. Understand that as you go into that, there's going to be people that fall out of your life because they just cannot handle that you've gone and done what you said you were going to do, because it makes them uncomfortable, because they're not doing that for themselves, and they will never be humble enough to come to you and say, show me how you did this. So there's going to be people in your life that you're going to lose. But know that as you're writing out your vision, start to also think about that. How do people receive you? Who are you hanging out with? Chances are your circle is going to change. I know that through the years, my relationships with so many people have changed. Like, my great friends now are people I didn't even know 3 years ago. Meanwhile, the people that were my great friends 3 years ago, I barely see or talk to now. And so it will change so much in you. So just think about that. But most of all, the best part of that is think about how your family is going to feel. How will they view you when you have gone out there, especially if you're a mom or anything. That's huge, right? To show your kids that you can put your mind to something, that you can actually take the action to do it and go out and achieve it and leave a legacy for them. There's nothing better than that. So the thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to write out your vision for everything that you want in your life. Absolutely everything. You can be materialistic. It's okay. People who have money have things, but like I say, when you move into this wealth, you're not going to want as much. But write down everything that you're going to want to have. That spoil yourself in your vision. Allow yourself to see that. I am a car person. I love cars. I know the type of car I want, and I'm okay with that. It's okay for me to want a sports car, right? But that's just something I want, and I know that I'm going to have that in my life. And so just make sure you write that down, but write out. Start with now and start with a year from now. What does that look like? But then as you carry on, so after that year, do a 5-year vision for yourself as well, and write it all down. Where you're living, how you were able to pay everything off, where you're giving your money, what does your house look like, where is your house, how many houses do you have, where do you travel, what does your wardrobe look like, what are you able to buy, what is your attitude like, those kind of things. Who are your closest friends? What do you do with your team? What kind of incentives do you have? And when I said to get so specific in your vision that you even know the knobs on your cupboards, that's how specific we were told to be. We were told to stand in the kitchen of our house that we're going to have, and maybe you're in the house that you're going to stay in forever. That's fine. But picture it, and picture looking out into your backyard. What do you see out there? What's going on? If you were able to create whatever you wanted, what's going on in your home? How does it feel? What does it look like? Those kind of things. And spending quiet time, like 10 minutes a week, reading it with full emotion, and then closing your eyes And I close my eyes after even just every little bit, and I just picture it. It's like, okay, this is what this looks like, and this is how I'm feeling. I just close my eyes and I just feel it, and I feel that joy. And so it's huge because it helps you to really be able to identify with that and get there. So sometimes you're gonna have to work on your vision. Sometimes it's just too hard to be able to picture big things, especially if you grew up in a poverty mindset. A lot of times, a lot of people have been also told that being wealthy is greedy, that there's an attachment of greed to money, and that you shouldn't want to be successful. And so those are the things you're going to have to work on. So what I suggest if you have to do that is the old school, grab a magazine and start cutting out the things that you want. Allow yourself to see them. When you visually see them, it's different. When you write it out, you're putting pen to paper, and there's something magical that happens when you write out a vision, but you also want to have visual items that you can see. So even if you have to start out that way, being able to see these things and accept that they can become part of your world. Even if, like for me, I want to have a bunch of sponsor children. We have one child. I want to have, I'd love to have 100 kids. I want to see, I want to see that. And so you can get a picture of the company that you want to sponsor children with, and put a picture up there and write down how many children you're going to sponsor, and that type of thing. Where are you going to volunteer? Other companies I've been with have had volunteer trips that they do, and I'm sure as a team we're going to be doing that. So picture those kind of things. Let's go build houses in a couple of years together. Let's go on a massive, missions trip where we're doing major things in the world. So picture what you're actually going to be able to do. And because a lot of times we attach money to material things. It doesn't have to be. It can be to what you want to create. I know there's a girl on our team, I won't share her name, but she wants to build an orphanage. That was her biggest thing. And I shared with her that the girl that Doug mentored in a different company, that's what she does full time. Oh man. You know what happened? I sit on an exercise ball and my cat literally just jumped on my lap and popped the ball. Oh man, today is just full of fun. I almost went flying. Oh guys. So so I told her that, this girl does this full time, and that's where we're headed as a team, is to that type of an income where that can be a possibility. So it doesn't have to be material things. That darn cat. If you feel negative toward it at all, if you feel negative towards this exercise, if you're like, I'm not going to do this, then that might be a mindset issue, and let's get on the phone. Let's talk about this more, because I don't want you guys feeling like you can't do this, because this is such a huge part of your success. It's hilarious. It's such a huge part of your success. So there may be blocks that you have, and I've done this for long enough now. Like, I've coached a lot of women on their vision and creating this, that I would love to get on the phone with you and just like identify where it is. And I mean, it can get kind of deep because it generally is from something in the past, and you don't have to get personal, but we do want to like identify why. If you're stuck and you're like, I can't see it, I can't see this vision, then let's figure out why. And money isn't everything, but you can do a lot of huge things with money. And so be okay with that. Money is not evil. People are evil that do things with a lot of money. But money isn't evil. You can choose what you want to do with it. And just know that you are worthy of everything that you're writing down on that piece of paper. It's not hopes and wishes and just dreams. These are things that you are worthy of. You were put, and just like I said, I don't know if any of you were on the call that we had the other morning, where I think it was last Friday, where I shared about how we're part of a team of 400 people right now, not even 400. We know, I've been parts of companies that had 300,000 people and in each company, and they didn't even think they had hit momentum yet. In fact, I think it was Amanda who talked with a girl who said that that company, well, we haven't hit momentum. So, but there's 300,000 people in the company, okay? So we know that there's another team building. So say we have 150,000 people in our organization in the next 3-4 years. It's going to happen. Okay, you were put here for a reason. You are part of only 400 people in the world that were chosen to be at the top of this company. So understand that you're worthy of it, because for me it's God, it can be the universe, for whoever. you were decided to be here. There's no coincidence that you're here. There's a reason you're here, and it's probably because you have huge dreams inside of you that you want to create. And so that is why you're here. You're here to do that. You're here to build that for yourself. And don't focus on your circumstances anymore. I did that a lot. We went through a couple of years of really tough times here, and things are changing, and it's hard, but I don't focus on the circumstances. I focus on where I'm going. So focus on your vision. Realize that anything you're in right now is not going to be forever, and that you're only just learning your lesson through it, that you are going to get through it, that you have something in front of you right now to work on that's going to get you out of everything that is holding you back right now, and that we are a team here for support, and that I'm here for any of you who want to talk about anything, because nobody's life is perfect, and we've all gone through stuff, we're all going through stuff, and we're all here together, but we're on a crazy, incredible journey. And I'm really excited. So I'm just going to open up, you guys, and see if anybody has anything that they want to say or has any questions. And that was the vision training. So I'll open you guys up. Hey, guys. Does anybody have any questions or anything? Everybody's good? Everybody's like, we've been on here.
Really good, Angel.
Thanks, Dusty. You guys are awesome. I've kept you for an hour and 10 minutes now with this, so. But okay, well, I will stop the recording and I will put it up in the group. So if there's anybody on your team that you want to I just really suggest, guys, like, make it a priority this week. Take time, block out time to write your vision. I rewrite my vision every January in my book, and I read it every month at least. I should do it every week, but I just don't. I do it every month. But I would suggest really just making this part of your time that you schedule out for your business. It's going to take you about an hour to write it out, and then, you know, you have it there, and then just read it and focus on it and let it get you through everything. Okay, guys, I'm going to end everything. I love y'all, and I'll either see you over at the other webinar or we'll talk in the group. Have a fantastic night, guys.
You too. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.